Detective Chad Sharpetta next to me here. This is his case that we're telling you about. Yesterday afternoon, our team made an arrest of Dr. Christopher David Olenek. He is a doctor in our community, a physician. His current office is at the Eastside Urgent Care 927 37th Place. And our team is concerned with this case because we're concerned there may be more victims. And so the initial report here is that a person came forward. They were seeking employment at the office. Obviously, you guys have this affidavit to take a look at and to give more details to your listeners and to your viewers. But essentially, this person came forward, advised that during the hiring process, they were touched inappropriately. They responded to the sheriff's office and said, I'm not comfortable with this situation. Our team, looking back at our records, determined that there had been 8 prior investigations by the Indian River County Sheriff's Office against Dr. Olenek for previous similar type cases. These are former employees. These are people who had gone into the office for a variety of different reasons, whether it was medical care or assistance, whatever it was. And in every time they had been touched inappropriately, they had felt as though the doctor was being creepy. And so what we are looking for at this point is if there are other victims who are willing to come forward to talk to us. Obviously, a lot of these cases, again, are similar to the arrest that we made. It's a simple battery. A lot of the statute of limitations have run. But we are looking to give the Department of Health, all the regulatory agencies that oversee the doctors, all the information we possibly can about this. We're concerned this is a serious pattern of bad behavior. When you have 8 prior cases leading up to the arrest yesterday, Detective Sharpetta did an amazing job. He actually interviewed the doctor yesterday. He definitely downplayed this. This is not normal. We don't have, we have hundreds of physicians in Indian River County. Rarely do we have anybody come in and make a complaint against a physician. For us to have somebody who has 8 prior cases and the 9th one that just happened is very problematic. And we believe there are likely dozens of victims that are out there who have experienced similar episodes over at his office. So with that, I'll take your questions again. The whole purpose of us holding this today is to really let you guys know and let the community know that this is a problem, that there may be other victims out there, and that we're looking for people to come forward. Detective Sharpetta will gladly meet with those victims and talk to them about their experiences if they're willing to call us. Questions from you guys?
Sure. You mentioned the statute of limitations run out on some of these.
Most of them.
Back.
Yeah.
2011. Do you advise that victims who still have cases from a while ago still reach out to the sheriff's office?
Yeah, we still want to hear from them. We're essentially trying to build a pattern here. We want to be able to show that this is something that's been going on for some time. We believe that it really is something that's been going on for quite a while. We believe there are other victims potentially who have worked at that office. There's definitely people who have come forward who have told us that this has been, everybody, there's a quote that's in there. Everybody in Vero knows that he's a creep. Okay, well, come forward and tell us that. We need to put that down on paper. We need to hear that from the people in the community who are aware of this situation.
You said that in the detective interview that he kind of downplayed all of this that's been happening. Can you go into a little more detail? Like how did he say it wasn't a big deal or it's being misinterpreted? Can you go into detail about that?
So Dr. Olenek maintains that what he's doing is within the normal scope of his duties as a physician. He didn't admit, he wouldn't take ownership of what has happened. He claims that he has no idea why these women would come forward and single him out specifically. But the evidence just shows differently. So he has no real reason for what he's done.
Detective, was there anyone else in that office who really knew about this behavior? Because it seems like if this was going on for such a long time, you would think that some of his coworkers would know about it. Was there any evidence of that in your investigation?
So as far as coworkers go, there has been a witness that has been identified. We have spoken to her regards to some of the behaviors, though she didn't witness anything specifically as it pertains to inappropriate touching of patients or whatnot, because it's done mostly in the confines of an examination room. She did note some pretty suspicious behaviors, some things that he said to herself and other people in the past that she quoted as being creepy.
You guys said that you had 8 other investigations into him. What happened
You want to talk about those individual ones, or?
So obviously with a doctor-patient relationship, the confidentiality of that, being in an examination room, you're not going to get video surveillance footage. You're not going to get witnesses, other people that have seen what has happened because of that privacy. So prosecuting those other cases and finding enough evidence in those other cases is very difficult. This case is a little bit different in that we have a little bit more to go off of, and we're also utilizing something called the Williams Rule, which allows us to talk to those other victims and get some similar facts in order to reinforce what has happened in this case.
Let me just take on that one for a second. Just to kind of close that out. Our detectives were aware of his name, that we had cases in the past, and every time in the past we've always tried to build on it a little bit more, and it just works out with this particular case that we're finally at that point where we have people who are willing to come forward, willing to tell us this. And it's not just one person that Detective Sharpetta is quoting in this. It's multiple people that were able to finally pull this together. And so oftentimes, like a RICO case or something like that, it takes multiple acts to be able to pull that in and really show what's happening. And so this is a lot of the totality of the circumstances of, over time, this pattern, we've shown that we've taken reports. Some of the cases, the victims refused to cooperate. Some of them, we just didn't have enough evidence to proceed on. But when you bring it together now in 2025, it's finally time for us to make, and this is just a simple misdemeanor arrest. We wish we had more. We wish there was an opportunity for us to make a greater charge in this. And that's why, again, we're making that call to other victims, because there may be somebody who's had something way worse than this.
And I know he's out right now, $5,000 bond. He got out just a couple hours later. Has his medical license been revoked yet, or should he go back into the office?
He is working today. I think you guys maybe did some B-roll over there. I think he is in his office today, and that's another reason why we're up here today talking about it, because we're concerned that people don't know about this. When the folks in here say everybody in Vero knows, I don't think everybody does. And so we want to get that word out and see, who's going to come forward and what they have to say.
Can you explain that Williams Rule? Correct me if I'm wrong a little more.
Yeah.
How does that work? Just explain it.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. So the Williams Rule allows us to bring in a court setting, some other material witnesses, some other victims of these crimes to establish certain facts, motive, intent, opportunity, the similar nature of motive. So we can utilize those facts in those other cases to kind of establish those things and kind of show a pattern.
Even if those victims' cases were maybe past the statute of limitations.
Yes.
Absolutely. Other questions?
Can you give the victim's age?
We can't get into any identifying information about victims. You'll notice that the report is heavily redacted, and we will not be able to provide any of that information at this time. We will say that anybody that's out there that's experienced anything at all at that office that was off kilter, strange, unusual, we want to hear about it. Detective Sharpetta is available. Please call into the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. If you let them know it's in reference to Dr. Olenek, they will get it directed to him, and we will make sure that we follow up on any leads.
Is he a long-term doctor here? How long has he had practice in Vero Beach?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. I don't know the exact time, but I know he's been around for quite a while. The first case that we have was from 2011, so it's been quite some time that we've been getting complaints on it. Thank you guys for coming out today. I appreciate it, and please, any victims out there, let us know. We want to hear from you. Thank you. Sure.
My name is Detective Chad Sharpetta. Sharpeta.
Chad spelled the normal.
Chad.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much. Thank you. Good job, Chad.